Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lara Zimmerman, and I am your host this afternoon. What I'm going to be doing with you over about the next 15, probably 20 minutes or so, is I'm going to be talking through the LifeVantage products with you. I'm going to be explaining the science behind them, how they work, how they can benefit you. Very briefly, my background and how I come to be sharing this information with you. I have been always been in traditional business up until about 9 years ago. I had a recruitment company in Dublin for many years, and I moved to the UK and I set up a yoga business with my sister-in-law, which we franchise both here in the UK but also overseas. So health and well-being has always been something that I've been really passionate about. I'm always somebody who loves sharing things that I know are going to help people. And it was in 4.5 years ago, it was about October 15, that LifeVantage crossed my bow, for want of a better word. I wasn't actually looking for a product to help me with my health in any way, but a friend reached out and told me about this product. And when I heard it reduced oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, I went, hold on a second here. I know about oxidative stress. I know that has something to do with damage done to your cells by free radicals, but surely you just take an antioxidant and that's good enough. Eat a bowl of blueberries or have an orange every day. And I'm one of those people who likes to lift the hood, dig deep and do some research. I guess that there's a bit of a scientific geek in me. And when I went through and really understood what these products were about, I was absolutely blown away. I realized that we had something that was really, really unique and that I wanted to try, but it wasn't yet in the UK. So I don't know if you've ever ordered something from abroad, and I did that. I ordered it in October 15, and in March 16, I was told that the company was coming to the UK and they were looking for people who were health-driven entrepreneurs, people who were passionate. So I became a distributor. At that stage, I had 6 months of being on the product myself, and I knew it was something that I could wax lyrical about. So what I want to do is I want to start this morning's or this afternoon's presentation by telling you a little bit about the company. And LifeVantage really began in a lab. It was developed by a group of scientists, and it was really with one single question in mind, which is declining health something we should have to simply accept as a part of getting older? And it's a really interesting question when we think about it, because, what do we all think of aging? The scientific I guess explanation of aging is the breakdown in our cellular health, but a lot of us just accept the fact that as we get older our sleep quality tends to deteriorate, or that our energy levels tend to dip and our overall mood might not always be as good as it was, or our brain focus, our brain fog. How many times have you walked back into the house to get something and gone, I can't remember what I came in to do? We all have aches and pains. They may be from former injuries, or they may be just aches and pains that are coming on. The quality of our skin changes with age. That's probably one of the big things people think about aging is genuinely how we look. But I'm a great believer it's more about how we feel and our recovery time. I've played tennis my whole life, and I know that my recovery time playing tennis now is very different to how it was in my mid-20s. Also, your endurance, your ability to just keep going, and obviously things like inflammation, which leads to chronic disease. So that's really the question that this company got started with, and they've come across a number of discoveries, and I'm going to be talking about 3 areas of aging, 2 specifically because we've got those in Europe right now. But what was discovered quite a while ago was that our genes have an amazing ability to keep our bodies healthy. And decades later, really through LifeVantage, they discovered that there are ways in actually activating these abilities. So as we get older, our body is less efficient at keeping us healthy, but yet they've discovered a way to do that. So I'm going to give you a brief background to the company. And the main reason is people often ask, well, I was introduced to these products by my friend Joy or my friend Eileen or Brian. Why are these not in Boots or Superdrug? And the reason is really down to the background. This company did not start out to market their products through what we call referral marketing. They started out back in 2003. The company had developed the Protandim Nrf2 product, which I'll be talking about. They put it on the shelves of the likes of Wolves Green and CBS in North America. In 2005, the ABC Primetime channel, which is similar to our Watchdog or Rogue Trader, typically when they want to do a report, it's usually to lift the lid and expose something. It's usually not very pretty. And they went to LifeVantage and said, look, we gather your product is claiming to reduce oxidative stress. Can we do a live clinical broadcast, effectively trial? And a lot of companies would have shied away from that, and LifeVantage went, no, sure, come in. And if you haven't yet seen that report, I would encourage you to go look at it, because the reporter had his bloods taken on day one. He had something called T-bars measured, which is a bioindicator of the level of oxidative stress in his body at that time. He was given a pot of Protandim Nrf2. 14 days later, he went back into the lab, had his bloods taken, and they had dropped by a whopping 45% in just those 14 days. When that broadcast went out, there was a massive flurry of activity. A lot of people bought the product, and at the same time, a lot of academic and scientific institutes got in touch with the company and said, we would like to get our hands on your product and fund our own research into this to see really is activating the Nrf2 pathway, reducing oxidative stress through this product really as powerful as it was. And fast forward to today, we've 27 peer-reviewed studies. Then by 2009, the company realized, based on the research that had been done at the time, that the way best to market and sell this product wasn't on the shelf of, a Boots equivalent. It was through people's stories, just like I'm going to be sharing some of my story with you today, and somebody probably has already shared their story with you, and the company has grown. And that's when it began its journey in using activation rather than supplementation. And I think that's a really key thing for us, for me, certainly 4.5 years ago, once I understood that, was amazing. So supplementation we typically take because our bodies are deficient in something. It could be iron or vitamin D, or because our food doesn't possess the same level of nutrients that it used to. Whereas activation is taking ingredients that help our body activate itself, to heal itself, to produce enzymes or whatever it is. And I'm going to go through that now in a moment. And the company have gone on to now address 3 leading theories in aging and health decline. So starting with the first one, which is oxidative stress. So oxidative stress is something that unfortunately none of us are immune to. If you eat and breathe, you're going to get it from the moment we're born, and we convert energies in our cell through oxygen and through food. Little unstable molecules called free radicals combust and go ping-ponging around our body, causing damage to our cells. Now, our body is amazing. It has a solution, and it produces antioxidants, often known as survival genes or anti-aging genes, and they neutralize these free radicals. However, as we get older, our body is less effective in producing these free radicals, these antioxidant enzymes. So it's having an effect on literally every organ of our body: our heart, our skin, our kidneys, our joints, our lung, our brain, our immune system, which is so important right now, blood vessels, all our organs, our eyes. And it's caused by everything, by our diet. If we're smokers, if we take medication, if we live in a pollutant environment, if we're completely inactive, or even overly active. I've got rigorous exercise down there. Athletes are massively exposed to oxidative stress. Alcohol, the toxins in the air, the food we eat, and obviously now we've got the 5G and all the signaling that's going on around us. So our body, regardless of how healthy we try to be, is exposed to oxidative stress. And a bit like, cholesterol, you can't feel it. And I often say, when an illness rears its head is not the day it just came out. It's years and years of the breakdown of cellular health that leads to these things. So what have LifeVantage been able to do? Well, they've developed a product called Protandim Nrf2, and we all have a pathway into every cell in our body called the Nrf2 pathway. And when this is switched on, we increase the production of those antioxidant producing enzymes I mentioned earlier, also, as I said, known as anti-aging genes or survival genes. And when these enzymes are turned on, it helps lower that oxidative stress. Now with Protandim, it has been clinically proven to do it by a minimum of 40% or an average of 40% in 30 days. And it's not because we are taking a supplement. So if you look at what goes into it, it's milk thistle, very good for the liver, bacopa, white flower used in Ayurvedic medicine, ashwagandha, again, an amazing root in Ayurvedic medicine, green tea, which most of us are familiar with, and turmeric. None of us are deficient in those ingredients, but the combination of those ingredients in this special synergistic blend increases the production of those enzymes. So it supports the body's ability to repair itself, rejuvenate cells, supports the natural detoxification process of our body, and has a massive impact. And I'm going to go into that impact in a moment. Now, this product, we recommend people get on it for a minimum of 1 month for every decade you've been around. So if you're like me in your late 40s, when I heard about this, I just went, you know what? I'm going to give it 5-6 months. I really want to see this. And I often give the analogy of, we don't brush our teeth for a month and then stop and expect plaque buildup not to reoccur. That's obviously a very kind of visual thing. We can all actually just swish our tongue around our mouth and feel the inside of our mouth and how good it feels. We probably all brushed our teeth 4 or 5 hours ago. So your cells are under the attack and have been under attack since the day you were born. So giving your body a chance to get on that is really, really key. So giving you another real insight, and it was when I saw this that I really understood the difference between me taking antioxidants and my body making their own ones. So taking antioxidants is a great thing to do, and please continue to eat your blueberries and your oranges and all those things, because there's lots of other amazing phytonutrients in there that are going to stand you in and your body in great health. But when you take an antioxidant, eat an antioxidant, it neutralizes a free radical on a 1-to-1 molecule basis. So take it, for example, 3-ounce bowl of blueberries, it'll probably neutralize 7,000 free radicals. Your body, my body, is producing trillions of these guys every day. Whereas if you activate your own Nrf2 pathway, increase your own body's production of indigenous enzymes, that means these enzymes cannot be made or supplemented. You're going to get 1 molecule of those enzymes is going to neutralize 1 million free radicals per second, all day, every day, up to 3 days. So I often think the analogy is taking an antioxidant is like throwing a glass of water over a burning house, whereas making antioxidants is like having a fire hose in every room of that burning house. It is incredibly powerful. And also you can see on the left-hand side there, and this sort of always makes me chuckle, because if you wanted to have the same impact, you're going to have to eat 11 pounds of blueberries. You're going to have one hell of a bellyache after that, or you'd have to eat 375 oranges, and that's assuming that they have the right nutritional value in them anyway. You'd have to take 120 vitamin C tablets, and well, we definitely wouldn't recommend the last thing. 87 glasses of wine would probably see us all off. In fact, we'd probably see everybody on this webinar off. So again, just understanding this is not supplementation, it's activation, and it's super, super powerful. So just giving you a quick insight, based on the 27 peer-reviewed published articles, they're all on PubMed.gov, but they've also, which is the US, and it's like Google for the medical world, put in Protandim in PubMed.gov and you'll see the peer review studies in there, but you'll also see a number of other publications that have published articles on this product, here is a list of some of the academic and scientific institutes. So you've got places like the American Heart Association looked at the correlation between lowering oxidative stress and atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the arteries. You've got Harvard Medical School was in there. National Institute of Aging did a 10-year study. They did it on a couple of 100 different products, all natural ingredients, all natural supplements, and they were looking for a product that they could clinically prove would extend life, and the only product they found it to be to have that effect was Nrf2 Protandim Nrf2. So a lot of exciting things there. And Washington State University said Nrf2 activation is likely to be the most important and health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. Nrf2 may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. So moving on to the second major area of aging and health decline is your mitochondrial decline. So your mitochondria it's like your battery. It's in every cell it's in every cell in your body. It's super active. So whilst you've been listening to me here, the mitochondria in your heart has been working away, making that move all the time. The mitochondria in, say, the cells in your earlobe may be a little less active because it's a bit more a sedentary part of your body. It doesn't have the same level of functionality. Now, the great thing is our body is constantly being able to move and fix and repair damaged mitochondria through a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. However, you guessed it, as we get older, our body gets less effective at restoring that mitochondrial function. So LifeVantage have developed a second product within the Protandim range called Nrf1 activation, and this is activating the pathway into the cell. And what it does is it increases something called your ATP levels, which effectively is feeding your mitochondria. So it's slowing cellular aging by supporting the chromosome integrity. You'll see improved sleep and quality of sleep, cellular repair. You'll also see supporting cognitive and brain health, and it also supports healthy circulation and cardiovascular system. And it's really interesting to see that, you know, in North Europe, the #1 cause of death, the #1 reason we're all dying is cardiovascular failure, and that is down to a breakdown in circulation. Now that product is £55 a month, and that's delivered to your door, but I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail. So again, what goes into this is not something that you're supplementing. Nobody is deficient in quercetin or grapeseed or alpha-lipoic acid or coenzyme Q10. This is something that the synergistic blend activates this pathway and helps do that, helps create that ATP together. Now, again, just like with Nrf2, we would recommend this is something you get on and you go on a monthly basis. And what the company have done is they brought these two products together to a dual synergizer pack, and this is £90 per month delivered to your door. And people would often say to me, you know, why not take one or the other? And I kind of go, look, taking Protandim is like getting a banger, a banger as in a car. I think I'm going to have to close the window in my office because I think somebody is picking a skip up outside. Just bear with me for 1 second. Sorry about that. I thought if I can't hear myself think, you guys might not be able to hear me. So yeah, back to the analogy of a car. If you've got an old car, Protandim, lowering oxidative stress is a bit like servicing the engine. It's going to perform really, really well. Taking Nrf1 is like giving the body work a full refurb, and now you've got a vintage car versus a banger. That's my analogy of it. The two together are so incredibly powerful, and people often say to me, who should take these products? And I have always believed prevention is better than cure. You know, the old expression, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Knowing what we know, knowing that the #1 and #2 cause for the health decline, aging in our bodies, is from oxidative stress and mitochondrial dysfunction, I'm of the mindset where I'm going, hell, put me on it, because I want to keep myself, you know, give myself the best chance I have. This is like a health insurance program in terms of that. But we do get a lot of people who get on these products because they are suffering signs of aging. They may have various chronic conditions, and we do not claim to cure, prevent, treat, mitigate anything at all. And people often say, well, I know somebody who took it and then they went from here to here. I always say to them, it's not the product healing them, it's their cellular health is so good, it's giving their body a chance to heal. So for anybody who wants to sleep better, have great mental energy, have less aches and pains, more focus, sleep quality, then this is definitely a product to look at. So moving on to the third theory of aging, and this product is not yet available in the European market. I know we've got people on from the UK and Ireland today. But I do want to share this with you because it will come to the European market in not so long. The third area of aging, or theory of aging, is called sirtuin activity. And basically it's very clever. Sirtuin is responsible for waste removal. As our bodies, as our cells are actively driving our systems all day, every day, sirtuin is going around and kind of clearing it out. I often use the analogy of, if you've ever had children, it's better to kind of clean up as you go along throughout the day than leave it to the evening, because you've just got one big bomb site and you walk into your sitting room or your TV room or whatever, and you're walking on Lego and toys and tripping over stuff. And sirtuin is like that person who's running around behind, clearing it up. And it is super powerful in terms of keeping us mentally and physically alert, motivation, mood, cardiovascular health, a whole host of things. Now, the lovely thing is that our body, when we're younger, produces lots of sirtuin so that our cells can constantly stay clean and rejuvenate themselves. However, as we get older, you guessed it, our sirtuin levels decrease over time. So the third pathway that LifeVantage have developed is the NAD pathway, or NAD pathway. And again, it's by putting products into theocrine, wasabi, japonic extracts. These ingredients are not something you're deficient in, but the combination of them are able to create this pathway. And the only other way of increasing your sirtuin activity level to the level you can get with this would be going on about a 600 or 700 calorie a day diet. Now, A, that's quite a dangerous thing to do. B, it wouldn't be sustainable for very long. And C, you would be depriving your body of a lot of great nutrients doing it. So this currently is the only product that's been proven to activate the sirtuin levels to the same level. And what you can expect is it's supporting healthy longevity, it's improving your mental focus and your concentration, it supports a positive mood and motivation, it's helping your physical energy as well, it supports the body's healthy inflammatory response, which is key. Inflammation is the reason we get illness and disease, and it is caused by oxidative stress, lower sirtuin levels, lower mitochondrial activity. It also helps maintain cholesterol levels already within a healthy range, and it also supports the vascular system. So again, this is going to be coming in the near future, which is super exciting. Now, just diving into the rest of our product range, I've touched on our activation range. I'm going to talk about our 2 nutritional products now, and then we'll look at the science that has gone into the skincare and the hair care system. So first product I wanted to look at is the probiotic. And people often think you take a probiotic because you've got a dodgy gut. And yeah, you should definitely take a probiotic if you have a dodgy gut. But the main reason we all need to be taking a probiotic is 80% of our immune system stems from our gut. So if you've got a healthy gut, your body's going to be way more effective at fighting anything that your immune system might come under a threat of, especially at the moment, given all that's going on. Now, our ProBio has 6 million CFUs of healthy bacteria. And for some people, they may think that's not a lot. But I think what's really key, and there's 2 things that make this product so incredibly unique and powerful and work. One is the BioTrack time release technology. What does that mean? It's a delivery mechanism. About 95% of the probiotics on the marketplace don't have a delivery mechanism, which means you swallow them, but they actually get destroyed before they get to your gut, which means you're effectively spending money on something that's not giving you any benefits. This is coated in a very special ingredient that gets all the way into the gut. So all 6 billion CFUs are released in there. And the second thing is Well Immune, and I'll talk to you about Well Immune in a moment. Now, this is £42 per month, and that's delivered to your door. And I'll go into pricing again in a moment, because I've given the delivery cost of these. But obviously, if you buy the products in multiples, you're only obviously paying one delivery cost, so they do become cheaper. And we do offer a pack that is highly efficient for getting all 4 products. But I want to talk to you about Well Immune. Well Immune is supported by over a dozen clinical trials. It's developed by the Kerry Group in Ireland. It's been awarded numerous awards, and it's patented. It ticks all the boxes in terms of people who have faith beliefs or any sort of allergies. I am a celiac, so I take this product. It's gluten-free, so I can vouch for that. It's not going to upset anybody who's on a gluten-free diet, and it's safe for everyday consumption. And who should be taking this? Well, my attitude is everybody. And why? Because explaining what Wellmune does. Wellmune effectively helps to gear your immune system up, and it's ready for infection. And the two analogies I often use is, imagine a fire breaks out and you call the fire station, and the firemen are sitting up in their canteen, having a cup of tea, feet up, watching TV in their trackies, and the bell rings. They all know what to do. They all got to get up. They got to put on their kit. They got to go down the pole, get into the truck, make sure all the equipment's on the truck, put on the siren, lift the doors, and off they go. When your immune system is highly charged and ready to fight infection, the analogy is the fire breaks out, you phone the fire station, but the firemen are in the truck's ready to go, the doors are up, all that happens is the siren goes off. Does it mean you'll still get infection, you'll still get sick? Yes, it does, but what it means is your body is geared to fight it. And I think that's so interesting. I've been on the probiotic for nearly 2 years now, and I don't think anybody doesn't get a kind of tickle in their throat or a sort of tingling in the nose in the middle of winter, but that for me has been just exactly what it is. I feel something coming, I'm on my probiotic, it doesn't take control of me. So everybody really needs to be on this. Children with families with young children. I know that when my kids started at nursery, my goodness, every week somebody had a snotty nose. People who are doing high levels of activity, they're putting their bodies under a lot of pressure. They definitely need to keep their immune systems up. Older adults, both my parents, oh my goodness, they've got to be on this, especially at the moment. And anyone suffering from stress, we all know that stress has such a massive impact on our bodies. And I often sort of say, when you get anxiety, when you get a fright, where do you feel it? You feel it in your gut, and that's because it's become our second brain. It's a place that needs protecting, massive protecting. So actually, I'm not going to touch on these slides but yeah, the probiotic is a really, really powerful product. Then we have an Omega Plus. And again, I think most people who are into health and well-being will understand the value of what a good Omega will do for you. It's good for your brain, heart health, your muscles, all of which need support. And I'll go into our product in a bit more detail, but it is a powerful blend of fatty acids and also vitamin D. And again, I've said for years, people need to be on vitamin D. In the Northern Hemisphere, so many of us have unexplained aches and pains, and it's vitamin D deficiency. But how we take vitamin D is so important. Taken with an Omega, the level of absorbency is way higher. And again, delivered to your door, that's £42 per calendar month. So why would you want to take it? Well, it helps support your heart health, your brain health, your immune system. It helps protect your cells, your skin. It's rich in EPA and DHAs. And what that fundamentally means is it's absorbed into your system. And for me, I think the best thing is it has a lemon and lime flavor. And I know that sounds really funny, but I don't know, hands up if you've taken an Omega in the past and it's repeated on you all day long. You've had sort of waft of fish all day long. This is like having, a lemon and lime Tic Tac. Anybody remember the lemon and lime Tic Tacs when you were little? That's what it, you don't actually have to eat it, you swallow it, but that's, if you get a repeat, that's what your flavor you're getting. And the nice thing for people who are environmentally conscious, who want to make sure that this is coming from a sustainable source, the cod marine oil that's used is very track and traceable. Every single pot we have, we can trace it back to the catch where it came in from. So it's a very clean source and also a very environmentally conscious source of marine oil. So what I wanted to talk to you about, here in the UK, we've been really fortunate that the company have packaged something called the Vitality Stack. And for 144 a month, this can be delivered to your door. And this is really your full anti-aging health protection scheme. And that is called the Vitality Stack. Now, moving on to our other two products. And again, I am going to just do a time check. I am not going to go into these in a massive amount of detail because I could talk again for probably another half hour on each of these, but the True Science skincare range was developed primarily, it is scientifically developed with Nrf2 activation in it. Now the range consists of a facial cleanser. It's one that you wash with. It's got a neutral pH balance. It's the only facial cleanser I personally have ever used that doesn't make your skin tight or shiny after using. In fact, you don't get out of the shower feeling like, oh my goodness, I got to get on my moisturizer because I've dehydrated myself. It's a really beautiful product. My favorite product in this range is something called a perfecting lotion. And this is a combination of a serum and a toner. So again, apply a bit to your hands, splash it over your face, and then apply the moisturizer. The moisturizer is both day and night cream. Again, it's nice, it keeps your regime really simple. And then there's an amazing eye serum. These products, I always encourage anybody who decides to try these, please take a photo on day 1, day 30, day 60, day 90, because people definitely notice their skin firms up. There's a reduction in lines, a reduction in dark circles or any kind of pigmentation patching that some people might experience, and also across all skin types and all cultures. We've seen amazing results with these. Now the second thing is the True Science hair care system. So that consists of a shampoo, a conditioner, and then a hair serum that you rub into your scalp. And again, this is a really, really good product. I have incredibly thin hair. If you were here and you felt it, you would think, oh my goodness, it's baby hair. But since using this product range, my hair has thickened. It's still very fine, but it is definitely thickened. And I also had alopecia in my, when I was 7. I lost all my hair when I was 7, and I have a couple of patches around my head where the hair was still, it wasn't bald, but it was very thin. And since using this, my hair has literally filled out. So this is a beautiful, beautiful product. What I would say is, for anyone, because I'm giving a short version on these, if these are products that you're really interested in, we've got some great video links that explain the technology behind them. But probably the most important thing is they're really clean. What do I mean by clean? Good ingredients, no gunk in there. There's a very good app called Think Dirty. I always want to call it Talk Dirty. It's called Think Dirty. You can download it onto your phone, and it ranges products from 0, meaning super squeaky clean, there's nothing toxic in it at all, to 10, which is you definitely don't want to be having a 10. And actually it's quite frightening if you go around your house inputting brands and stuff into it, how unclean some of the products we use are. And our products have all scored between 0 and 2, so they're really, really clean products. So that's me pretty much wrapped up. What I wanted to say is, you might be sitting in one or two places. You might be like, I want to get these products, and you want to become a customer. Well, get back in touch with whoever invited you. They'll be able to talk through the products which you want to try, and help you place an order. They can explain how our ordering system works. The company are brilliant. Rather than, if you heard me say, take it for a month for every year you've been alive, you might be thinking, crikey, I don't want to fork out 6 months straight up. The lovely thing is you don't have to. We run a subscription program, so you can order, and then you get a monthly order. It's not a contract. It's not like a mobile phone and you're locked in for 2 years or anything like that. It can be cancelled at any time. But what I do say to people is, you need to give it time. You definitely need to give this time. And we have, across the LifeVantage community, we've got 82% of people get on these products and stay on them for a minimum of 12 months. And I think that's quite phenomenal. Over my years, I've always been health conscious. I've always bought, supplements because I've heard the latest, greatest thing. Quite often, I don't even finish them. I don't know if anybody can claim to have a tub of something knocking around they bought with great intention but never took. People get on these and they stay on them, and that's really, really powerful. Second thing is, you might have some more questions, which is absolutely fine. We often have people who have lots of questions, so if you do have questions, get back to whoever asked you along, and they can answer those questions for you. And please, by all means, join our Facebook group. We've a very active Facebook group where people share information. We share information on the product, and we also actively encourage people to share their experiences and how they're getting on with the product. And the last thing I would say is that we have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you've got the products, you took them for 30 days, you decided they weren't for you, you could keep your empty pot and send it back, and the company will issue you with a full money back guarantee. So on that note, I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to check the chat to see if there are any questions. And I just want to say thank you all for being with me this afternoon. And, you know, I hope many of you decide to try these products. I know for myself, they've been phenomenal. So bear with me while I stop the recording.